I'm tracking the latest trends for rainfall next week in New England. Thank you for watching Jason Nappi Weather. Here is the forecast trend next week. More of an upper level low than a nor'easter is where it's trending right now, but nevertheless still bringing rain, especially here on this latest forecast, showing that shower activity coming in from the south, covering all of New England by around Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week. Still have several days to fine-tune the details. Make sure you are subscribing, you are following, and you are here every day. You got updates coming on Nappicast and Jason Nappi Weather. This is the forecast right now trend, which shows a strong upper level low that is going to bring rain from the south here. All that moisture comes up from the south here from an upper level low that's off to the west. I'll show you that big engine driving this storm, but it would bring rain, potentially a multi-day rain event, either Thursday, Friday, around Halloween, or before Halloween of next week. That's the latest forecast there. Let me show you here the rainfall amounts. It's going to change, okay? It's just a trend right now. This is a week away, so these numbers are going to change. But I do want to go ahead and stop it and show you the opportunity for rainfall. Now, with that wind here coming out of the south, let me switch that over here to some black on those colors so you can see it more clearly. There, wind coming up at the south, so you get all that moisture coming off the Atlantic. This is not from Melissa. Melissa, at last check, is still not coming to the U.S., but you've got rain here all the way from Virginia all the way up to Maine, right? So you'd like to see that when you've got a drought that is going to persist into the next several, probably months, really, at least through the winter. It looks like the drought will continue with that La Nina pattern. Now, here's a look at the temperatures right now. You've got clouds and not a lot of rainfall activity, but clouds, 40s, 30s, okay, where the sky is clear, 50s down in Hartford, okay, clouds coming in. So you're going to have upper level lows, smaller ones than what's going to happen next week come through, and it'll be in a mostly cloudy sky today. You can see here by a look at radar, not a lot of shower activity. The Great Lakes have been feeding western New York with a lot of rainfall. That's backed off a little bit. Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, all clear right now. Showers in Nova Scotia, back towards PEI. So shower activity will continue to be very light today. Really, it's all about this pattern next week that I want to show you. But first, let's talk about right now. We've got these very small waves coming to the atmosphere. This is an upper level low through the weekend here. Right here, little upper level low swinging through. So there will be clouds this weekend, especially in Maine, especially in the mountains. The coastline, sometimes you can break out, but really I think with these upper level lows coming through here, you're definitely going to see more clouds than sunshine this weekend. Temperatures, though, are not going to be falling off all that much at night because you've got the cloud cover. Now, let's get to the main event. This is next week. This is Wednesday of next week here. Look at this big upper level low digging off towards the west in the Ohio Valley, okay? That upper level low is the engine that is going to drive a system up from the south here and bring the rainfall into New England next week. Let me put it into motion. Now, it likely does not spawn a surface low or a nor'easter, but still time for that. And here is Melissa coming out on right over eastern Cuba and the Bahamas into next week, next Wednesday, Thursday timeframe. What that means is that Melissa is going to be sitting over Jamaica and Hispaniola for days and bringing catastrophic flooding down for them. So all prayers, and everyone needs to get out of Jamaica if you can. I know a lot of people can't get off that island. I've been down there. It could be a very devastating situation with mudslides, destructive wind, really worst case. But back home in New England, Providence, I want to show you the temperature trend now, okay, for the next 10 days or so. So notice here, nothing really all that, high or low. But then for November, notice you're dropping into the mid-40s for highs in Providence. Let's take another spot in New England. How about Boston? Same thing. You're in the 50s, then going to mid-40s. Obviously, as you get towards November, in Manchester and points north, you start to see things like 20s pop up. Now, this is a trend, 60s, and then there's the dip, okay? Early November is where temperatures drop off at night, 20s for lows here. In Bangor, up in Maine, you're warming up to 63, 60, November 4th, and then there's the drop down to the 20s for lows, highs mid-40s. So yes, early parts of winter are coming. That's not quite winter just yet. Now, in Brunswick, over towards the mid-coast, okay, this is in Maine. Right now, take a look. You got cloud cover, right? So there's a lot of cloud cover, a lot of moisture trapped in the atmosphere. And a lot of people have been asking me about the drought. Here is the seasonal drought outlook for October 16th through the 31st of the 2026 timeframe. So basically through about half winter. Okay, and here in New England, the drought is expected to persist for most of New England. I'll call it northern New England and a piece of Massachusetts, okay? And then the drought here gets worse down to the south with that La Nina pattern. You missed the connection from the El Nino from a very strong subtropical jet. Okay, so right now, people have been asking me, is the drought going to go away in time for winter? It is not. Now, what you'd need is a big drought-busting storm like a Melissa. Not that you'd want a hurricane to come to New England, but this is what you would need, this amount of moisture. This is right now a look at Jamaica. This is a look at Hispaniola, about Cuba, and this right here shows Melissa, which has been firing on all cylinders, big-time thunderstorms in the Caribbean. This is Jamaica right here. Now, the storm is getting very close to Jamaica, and it will move and meander towards the west and go right over Jamaica as a major Category 4 hurricane. So that is the bad news, the worst news possible for Jamaica. They have hurricane warnings up for the entire basically island of Jamaica, okay, the entire coastline. And then here over eastern Cuba, the Bahamas, and then heading up north, okay, after that. But this doesn't happen for a day. This is not until Thursday does it get clear of the Bahamas. Thursday of next week. So that's days and days of rainfall. Now, back home for the mainland, people have been asking me about where is it going to go? Is it going to strike the U.S.? It is not at the last check here of the trend, right? Here is the coastline of the United States, and here would be Melissa off towards the east, okay? So right now, the trend here is to keep it east. You get a big trough that opens the door for this storm to exit stage right, okay? But still several days to fine-tune that forecast before we get down to the nitty-gritty, so I appreciate you for watching. Now, for my loyal followers in Maine, if you always can fast forward to this, if you're a subscriber, you're a follower, you can always fast forward to get to the end of the video. If you just want the forecast for Maine, just the 10-day forecast, this is it, right? The clouds are going to hang tough, and then we get rain next week, an opportunity I showed you for an inch or more. So here is the 10-day forecast for Maine, the only one that I make by hand every day for you and for my loyal followers and subscribers in Maine. 44, 43, 45. So notice here in the mountains, because of the upper level lows coming through, you got clouds, you got moisture trapped in the atmosphere in the sky. But then the rain arrives Thursday, Friday into the following weekend, the first weekend of November, with temperatures cooling off into the 40s. Now, inland, it goes from mid-50s, low 50s, get a little bump ahead of that storm with the wind at the south, and then here come those mid-50s by Saturday, Sunday, for November 1st and 2nd, okay? So Halloween right now has an opportunity to be a washout in Maine, okay? So keep a close eye on this forecast. Although I still wouldn't cancel Halloween plans, I would certainly have the kids ready with the umbrella or with the, the raincoat over the costume, right? We've had to do that over the years growing up. So at the coastline, a lot of clouds around, few breaks in the clouds Tuesday, and then here comes the storm Thursday, Friday timeframe. I still would not completely cancel Halloween plans. I would just make sure you're checking back or subscribing or following along here. And I thank you so much for watching Jason Nappi Weather.